First, you got to start out, you have to know what that thing is. I think a lot of people think they know what it is, or they start out with core values that they've crafted that they believe are going to be the guardrails for where they want to take their business. But you have to know what it is. You have to dedicate to it daily. And the greatest killer, I think, that'll pull you away is distraction. So I believe that there's this idea that you have to constantly be challenging who you are and what you're about, or trying what the world is trying in an effort to be more successful. And like anything, I mean, you talk to old guys and they say, you want to be successful, keep doing the same thing, just dedicate to it longer term. Don't give up on what you're doing that is good. And so I'd say know what it is, guard against it from distraction, and like find peace in the simplicity of your mission. I think we overcomplicate things because our core isn't flashy or or seemingly profound, but there's beauty in focusing on your fundamentals every single day. I've said this before at some of our speeches. The only difference between a phenom and a beginner is that the phenom understands the fundamentals better. Everything breaks down to a couple simple moves, and if you do them perfectly over time, consistently, then you can master that thing. I think when you start to layer in 100 other moves, which is, I mean, you can experience that now with social media and marketing and all this, the analytics, all this stuff is fantastic, and you should leverage whatever information you have access to. However, don't get distracted from what your core is. And I think you realize that, and I can't state when we realized that we had to protect it, but you realize you have to protect things once you smell a threat to it. And that's generally in the form of a distraction or an entitlement mindset, any of those things. And it'll stir up in your gut that there's something that could potentially harm this thing. And not, if it's real, and if it's grounded in those human things. That's why I love your t-shirt, the Rehumanize. I think it's so beautiful. If your core is grounded in those human things, the honoring other human beings, it'll stir something in your soul that demands that you stand up against the things that threaten it. That's both from the outside and from the inside. And I think the way you hedge against that is, again, you know what you're about. You find people who come stock with a similar mindset, on a similar wavelength, who care about people in a similar way, and then you just constantly remind each other and hold each other accountable when you start to veer off and your language goes a certain direction where it's not serving that cause or that core, or